I'm sure all of us can tell stories of sitting in math class, and most people just frankly just hated math class, right? So boring. You sit there, you just take notes all the time. Well, picture this. Imagine one of the greatest mathematicians of all time had zero formal training. No training. His name was Ramanujan, and he was born in the 1800s, right, in India. And this movie, The Man Who Knew Infinity, is about his life story. Now, I have 3 takeaways. I just watched the movie myself today, and I really liked it. It's a true story, and it's one of those stories of building a partnership together. And when you join forces with somebody else, then you can go to the next level. Well, here are my 3 main takeaways from the movie. Takeaway number 1, to prove yourself, you have to beat the group or the people you're trying to get in with at their own game. What do I mean by that? Let me give you a couple examples. I'm sure you've seen Harry Potter, right? Remember at the beginning where he's like, "Oh, you can't, I'm Malfoy and you can't get on that broom, you can't beat me at this." And he's never been on a broom flying around at all. Instantly grabs the broom and ends up beating them at their own game. And not Malfoy, because not everybody's going to give you the respect, but a ton of people gained his respect by him beating them at their own game, right? There's Glory with Denzel Washington and the other black guy who wasn't a slave and was treated higher up than all the other slaves. And he was like, "Oh, stuck up," right? And calls him all these names, and he has to do the exact same things as Denzel. He has to be beaten. He has to be betrayed by his friends, and then he finally gains the respect of Denzel and all the other guys. And the last example is in Longest Yard. I don't know if you've seen Longest Yard or not with Adam Sandler. Remember when they're at the basketball court and Adam Sandler's recruiting guys to come onto the football team? I actually stopped this movie, The Man Who Knew Infinity, and showed my wife this scene from The Longest Yard where Adam Sandler says, "Hey, let me play you in a game of one-on-one, and if I win, all of your guys have to come play for me on the football team. But if you win, then I'll leave you guys alone." It's all these super athletic black guys, and they're in prison, right? And so he plays this game of one-on-one, and the guy first play takes the ball, goes down, and boom, nails him straight in the face, knocks him over, and hits a layup. He's like, "Oh, did I foul you? Call your own fouls if I foul you." And Adam Sandler's like, "No, it's all good, man. That's all clean." He gets the ball, and every single play, this black guy's just nailing him, straight up slugs him in the face. Well, they're going at it, and it comes down the final play, and this black guy gets the ball. He goes up for a jump shot. Adam Sandler blocks it so clean, takes the ball, lays it up, and the guy says, "Foul. That's a foul." And he takes the ball back and ends up winning the game. But all the other guys were like, "Wait, if this white guy can hang with all of us and can hang and take that beating and not say, 'Oh, I'm hurt, my face is bleeding, and I'm so,' if he can hang with us at our own rules and beat us, man, this guy's somebody to respect. He's earned my respect," right? Well, the same thing, and I didn't realize that this was a something until I watched this movie and I put these other movies together and my own experiences together. In the movie, this guy, I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about the storyline. Ramanujan is from India, right? Well, it's still under reign of England in the late 1800s. Well, he ends up going over to England. I think it's to Cambridge, and he's at this super prestigious university under the wing of one of the professors, but all the other professors are like, "What are you wasting your time on? This guy doesn't know what he's doing," right? Everybody thinks that this guy's just wasting their time, right? Except for this one professor he has the professor has him under his wing. Well, Ramanujan goes toe-to-toe with another opposing professor, walks into the room, and the professor says, what's the square root of 287,057? Something like that. And he's like, 881. And what? 0.01276. He's like, oh, that's child's play. Anybody knows that. He's like, here, hit me with one. He's like, okay, what's the square? And they start like going back and forth. And he's able to hang with him. Well, he ends up showing up the professor at his own game and ends up earning his respect. And then he's able to share that with the other professors, and he earns that respect because he beat him at his own game, right? He didn't cow down, right? That's lesson number 1 that I learned. Lesson number 2 is that in a partnership, if both partners struggle socially, you're gonna have a hard partnership. What do I mean by that? Let's say that you want opposing strengths in a partnership, right? Well, let's say that I'm really good at talking with people and really good at the social life, right? But I'm not good with numbers. I'm not good with organization. And then the other partner is the opposite. They're good with organization, but not good with people. Well, in a partnership together, because this person is so social, they're going to be able to connect with this other person, and they're going to be able to use their strengths together because the one partner has a social ability. They can connect, right? If both partners have that social ability, well, obviously they're going to connect. But let's say that both partners have opposing strengths, just like in this movie where the professor has the strength of knowing how to prove things in mathematics are correct and logical, and then the other partner, Ramanujan, the Indian, he's very good at coming up with theories and creating. And both of them have those opposing strengths, but both of them are socially inept. They're not good at talking with people and good at communicating. And so their relationship struggles. And here are a few of the things. Ramanujan, he doesn't know how to communicate. The fact that when they're starting to ration out food because of World War I, he can't communicate to anybody, let alone the professor, that he's not getting enough food. And he ends up becoming sick because he's not eating food. He's not eating the right food. But he's not socially not aware, but doesn't know how to communicate, and that it's important to communicate that to other people, and it ends up hurting him, right? The professor, he's so focused on the numbers that he doesn't even notice that Ramanujan is married. He doesn't even know for like a year that he's married, and that he was sick, and that he got beaten up by a group of other guys at the university, right? He doesn't even notice. And so when both people don't have that social skill, then it makes it really hard on a partnership, even if you have opposing strengths in other areas, okay? Lesson number 3 is the power of having a good and solid mentor, right? Ramanujan has this raw talent. He doesn't have any formal education, right? At all. He's just from this small town in India, but he's brilliant. One of the greatest mathematicians. That's what they say. He's up there with Isaac Newton in just sheer talent that he had. When he died, they actually found one of his old journals from like maybe 30 or 40 years after he died. And they say that it's like Beethoven's 10th symphony, that it was that good. And it's helping people today, mathematicians today, understand about black holes, right? And this guy was just such a prodigy, but he didn't know how to develop himself on his own. Well, the power of having a good mentor, this professor named Hardy, right? He was his mentor. He brought him under his wing, saw that talent, and he was able to publish his work out into the world, which Ramanujan had no idea how to do, did not have the credibility to do something like that. He was able to partner up, have this guy's mentor, publish his work. He learned how to prove his theories rather than just coming up with the theories. And then he also ultimately became a fellow at the college, which means like it's the highest level of basically a professor, and you go on in the record books of, it's either Cambridge or Oxford. It's one or the other, right? I always mix them up, right? He becomes a fellow at this college. He would have never gained those steps in his life if he didn't have a mentor like that. And so my challenge to you is find a mentor, right? Find a great mentor that you can stick underneath and that you can partner up with, and you'll be able to go miles and miles further having a person who's already been down that road, right? Go ahead, watch this movie. It's a really good movie, right? It's just a solid movie about that true story. I always love true stories. And it also shows for those 3 lessons. There are many other lessons throughout the movie, but those are the main ones. And my challenge to you is watch this movie, but also watch one inspirational movie every single week. And that's going to get you to start becoming more inspired, start opening up your horizons. Oh, wow, what if I was able to partner up with somebody like Professor Hardy? Oh, wow, what if I found somebody with raw talent like that and I was able to partner up with them? Or when I'm having communications, whatever the issues are, you're going to become inspired to become a better person, all right? Until next time, we'll see ya.